Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's the 18th of October 2023 and it's 11:38 a.m. I'm continuing with my readings of my daily journal entries that I post up on Focal Media. Today is a heavy going one because in it I describe, the last 4 years of the COVID terrorism. I refer to it as a terrorism because I felt personally terrorized. So I'm just putting out this trigger warning for YouTube that when I refer to COVID and the politics of our current regime here in Australia, those are my personal experiential, thoughts and feelings and actions given being presented with the unimaginable, ghastly dystopian horror that I've just barely survived for the last 4 years. So I'm being courageous and I'm being outspoken and I'm cleaving to my truth, and I'm hoping that you will do the honourable thing and allow me my voice, as you have previously done over my many videos, for which I appreciate and give thanks to you. It's not actually well, it is. It's of absolute importance that each individual human on this planet has their voice. And the fact that the voice was denied to Indigenous Australians in our referendum the other day, to me, is abhorrent. But they voted against that, and we have to go with what the majority decides. And so my heartfelt prayers and wishes and intentions go out to Indigenous Australia, that you get the treaty you desire and that you get the rights and privileges you desire, and that you get a better education system and, better housing and better quality of life than what's being provided to you in outback and regional Australia. And because we need you to survive on this land, this great vast continent. We need your ancient knowledge. We need you to pass on your ancient knowledge according to each of your tribal customs and lore to your children. We need you to be willing to share how to conduct proper fires to burn back to protect our land, how to seek and find bush tucker, and how to hunt and fish. I don't have any of those skills. So as a white hobbit woman from New Zealand and living in Australia, I can't survive. I can't survive if things go to the shitter any further. And it's interesting because I've had little signposts of two Aboriginal men in the past few years and one white man recently that I met just after I was almost slammed by a truck, wanting to take me out into the bush and show me how to, gather food and recognise, wildcraft and how to hunt and fish. They were very heartfelt offers, but I don't trust men because of my history of abuse. So I didn't take up the last gentleman with his offer who wanted to take me gold prospecting, which did get me a bit excited about that because who doesn't love gold? And but you can't eat gold. You could buy maybe some bread with it in a dystopian future where there's no cash and there's no way of surviving the further constrictions placed on our throat by the boa constrictor elite. But gold is always a desirable asset to have. I made a ring 2 days ago out of scraps of gold I gleaned from my little computer circuitry from my hard drives that had long ago died. So instead of throwing it out, I thought I might just harvest what I can. It's a bit pathetic, people. It took me hours and hours of gently, quietly cutting away the little filaments of gold and then melting them. But I enjoyed myself. I'm on my journey. I got a tiny dot of gold, and it was worth it, just for the satisfaction of saying, I can survive on my own without true love and without actual money and prosperity. I will find a way to survive by the grace of the gods. Anyway, today's journaling is dark. That's what I wanted to tell you. Also, today is the anniversary, 23 years ago, 18th of October 2000, when my former dead lover, who haunted me in 2016 when he died, utterly broke me with the news that he was getting married to the sadistic little bitch that he'd been, co-conspirating with. So I took that news very hard because I was deeply in love with him. And I did go and drive to the river, the Brisbane River, under the Story Bridge at Kangaroo Point there, and I did consider suiciding. And while I was wailing and crying with not just the grief from that day, but the cumulative griefs and traumas that had piled up over many years, weeping and wailing in my car, I thought, well, I better go and dry my tears and go and look at the river and pull myself together, right? Which I did do. And the river burbled quietly, and it was a beautiful day. It was a late afternoon, actually, because I remember looking up at the moon that was rising and thinking, wow, what a beautiful day this is, this day from hell. It was a day from hell, but I don't know how I survived that day. Everything went wrong that day, everything. Anyway, so I came back to my car and discovered I'd been given a parking fine. I'd only left my car for 5 fucking minutes, Like it was just sadism beyond belief, but I guess it was bad luck and bad timing, and so I went on from that and went to the local hotel there at Stones Corner and ordered a Jack Daniels, tears still running down my face, and got very weirdly looked at by the bartender because he could see I'd been howling and crying. Had a drink and then came home to find myself locked out because the real estate had done an inspection and had taken the fucking key and left me without a way of getting into my house. I can't remember why I didn't have my own key, but anyway, I had to then spend another hour chasing them down to Marsden, getting the key to get in my house, and by the time I got home I was just emotionally hollowed out, like the hollow bone that the shamans talk about. I was just wrecked. So today is a day that I always look at with trepidation, even though that was just one bad day and I haven't had any, well, I've had quite a few bad days after, but nothing of that magnitude. And it was spiritual and it was evil and it was profound attacks, even to not even be able to get into my home. And it was awe-inspiring, but not in a good way. So, but anyway, I'll read you my diary entries of even date. I titled it, La Vie en Rose, out of the darkness, filth and horror, arise great beauty and long yearned for peace, smiley face, exclamation mark. And I posted a beautiful photo of one of my roses from my garden. And I said, it's so beautiful. Life is beautiful with La Vie en Rose. And there it is there. Life is beautiful, but I've had to fight so damn hard for it that I do get overwhelmed more often than not on a daily basis. But I cleave to whatever bits of beauty I can gather up as well, because I'm an artist like that. I noticed my hair, I need to wash. I only washed it 2 days ago. Look, I'm already wrung out. It's terrible. It's how I know my health. My health is very poor. My hair's just constantly in oil slick. I look awful. What can I do? I'm 58 and a half years old, and all I can do is keep living, right? Keep trying, keep hoping against hope. Hoping against all hope. So at 1:40 a.m. this morning, I wrote, insomnia, gahhh. But something wonderful is just on the edge of my consciousness. Just out of reach, but circling. Could it be? Nah, I dare not hope. But the times are a-changing. Manifest peace, manifest joy, manifest love wherever you are, whomever you are becoming. Never give up hope. So, expect a bout of hypomania in a couple of days because I've had very little sleep and I'm not well. And I've already pulled myself up from a day of hypomania a couple of days ago when I was making a ring and gathering up little scraps of gold and making YouTube videos. I've been very busy this week. It's like there's a fire under my tuchus. Time is of the essence and I'm running out of it. So I go into these states where I overdo things and then I collapse, which is my normal. I have a debrief with my psychiatrist today. So he even said to me last session, I fall into the abyss and then I drag myself up and then I carry on and then I fall down again. And that's been my life pattern all my life. There's never any real harmonic balance or peace or rest or kindness. It's always just dragging myself up from one nightmare to another, to another, to another. And in between I take photos of roses and I fall in love and I get thrown under a bus, and I get up, scrape myself together and do it all over again. Like a true zombie, which I can be proud of in a way. So my darlings, October 18th, 2022. This is a potent day. Potent memories I have just transcribed to vocal media from the bowels of Facebookian archives, which interestingly I can't access my memories for the last 2 days, which is odd. It's like they deliberately block me or something. I find it really weird. They bring me to the realization of how very loved and supported I am by the gods and my platonic friends. You make all the former fake lovers and abusers look like very small, insignificant Dreck. Dreck is German and Yiddish for dirt. Yes, they were shit stains, and yes, I had to evolve past it, and yes, it took decades to heal from it. Thank you for the love, the compassion, and the tolerant kindness towards me. Grateful, happy woman here. October 18th, 2021. Because this is going to be the heavy one. Lounge and bedroom are now washed down and polished. Next job, spare bedroom and studio and kitchen dining area. It took me 6 hours to clean my bedroom, but it feels like an achievement. My friend Lynn Sloan said, it was upon a suggestion. My visit's inspirational, or I don't see you often, but when I do it means work. This is not fun, smiley face. She knows I'm a slob by heart. I'm a bit like Quentin Crisp, darlings. After 4 years, the dusting doesn't get any worse. Unfortunately, though, he lied. It does. I've got to actually dust everything. I've got to get in and dust everything. It's going to be another epic task. But anyway, I'm making YouTube videos and jewellery and living my best life in denial about my dust. I wrote back, Lynn Sloan, ha, I hate you so much. Nah, it needed a good spring cleaning. I need a full-time housekeeper with all my ornaments, hobbies, etc. I am unable to get on top of it, but we'll get there eventually. I may have to cull even more stuff though, it's too much work. But yes, sleeping in a dust-free environment was nice when I finally passed out at 4 a.m. until 9 a.m. But later I wrote, lovely epic storm to cool the evil ones down in Brisbania and bring sweet release to the rest. The gods are speaking. I don't know, my brows are always flopping around. I always look kind of floppy and dishevelled, don't I? I mean, I could, it's the stress. That's better. I always look a bit scruffy. I'm an elegant lady. I don't want to look scruffy. Oh, and then I noticed my button's undone. Wait a minute. How can you take me seriously when I'm literally bursting out of my dress? Let's button up a bit here. Let's tidy up this disaster, this brilliant, magical, wild, carefree disaster. Right, where was I? Lovely epic storm to cool the evil ones down in Brisbania, bring sweet release to the rest. The gods are speaking. The CERN collider and HARP have been busy, warping dimensions in search of the God particle like the ignoble cunts they are. When anyone knows that the God particle is within and is indivisible from the fabric of the multiverses, but they keep splitting to smaller and smaller particles with their self-immolation and hatred of nature and our mother, the earth. They have warped dimensions so much that we are in a timeline of ghastly horror when we already were supposed to have 1,000 years of peace, free energy and safety and abundance for all life forms, including the interdimensional ancient ones. Which outcome do we choose? False and misogyny, hate and division. Now our government threaten the truth speakers with starvation and homelessness. We deserve to die for what we complicitly subscribed to. All of it. Long before some mad scientist dreamed up COVID. For I, for one, will die on my feet. And I see my battery's dying. So now we have to make a mad dash. I didn't realise my battery was that low. I have to make a mad dash through the house, looking for my charger. Wherefore art thou, charger? We have the technology. We can rebuild her. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right. Are we still here? To hold you this way, this is going to be difficult. This bloody cord doesn't reach all the way. We can rebuild her. We have the technology. $6 million woman. Here's a hairbrush I've been looking for 3 days. Just stood on it. House is relatively tidy, but oh well. I don't know where that brush was. I've literally been looking at it for 3 days. I've been sitting at this table for 3 days and suddenly it appears. It's the pixies. Anyway. Well, back to my dusting. I finished the lounge last night. It took me hours. One room. Lots of washing and polishing the timber furniture. Today I will attempt my bedroom. By the time I've cleaned all the rooms, it will need doing again. But as the government wants to starve me out and render me homeless, I might as well clean house, then walk out in dignity on my own 2 feet, as I have always done. that one of my friends goes on about they should have run a mass education sessions instead. We're referring to this program. Given the facts, I have no doubt people would have freely chosen the as I did. No, they wouldn't have. Given the facts, they would have said, hell no, I won't go. But we were lied to multiple times. I said, the facts? Oh, you mean the lies we are being fed like a slow drip? But you do you. Each person has a right to choose what they consider is best for their health. I don't agree with coercion. Oh, poor Tanya. I'm not going to survive much longer on this planet. Oh, look at my fucking hair, man. I mean, it's unsurvivable, isn't it? It's just all of it, innit? But anyway, I don't agree with coercion, threats, lies, or corruption, or football tickets, or promises of winning a lottery, or any of the other insane bullshit this government has indulged in to trick plebeians into complicity. I always remember how the homeless disappeared almost overnight and how the vulnerable people are targeted, including now young children and 6-month-old babies. It's heinous is what it is. So my friend says, not the facts as our government presents them, that's for sure, just in terms of consensus in the research, which is just compiling data to disprove a theory and or add weight in support of another. You can find the raw data and reports being used to make these decisions under the WHO and UN, etc. All the enemy of capitalist governments, so not likely to be supporting them unless on balance it's helpful for human rights. And can we say, no, don't you dare sign me out. No. Helpful for human rights. Meanwhile, a man from the BCC, Brisbane City Council, is driving up and down the street spraying water on all the newly planted trees on a day when it looks like we might get rain. But I am actually, it's restarting. Sabotage. Let it sabotage. We'll wait. We've got time. I've got time. I've got all the time in the world. I'm dying, but I've got all the time in the world. I'm thriving, but I've got all the time in the world. My true love is gonna come to me and tell me he loves me and be my partner. And I've got all the time in the world. My daughter and best friend are going to come to me and say, we're sorry, we've been schmucks. And I'll be like, it's okay, because I always forgive them, because I too am a schmuck, and I've got all the time in the world. I don't, this I might have to delete and start again. We're at 5%. Oh, this is just awful, people. And I'm just stymied by fate, aren't I? It's told you the 18th of October is not a good day for me. Hope I don't get hit by a truck this time while I'm driving to and from my psychiatrist. That was the 9th of August. So anyway, I need my laptop so I can read what's on my writings to you, because I don't have it recorded. It's in my phone, but I can't make a video and read at the same time. Or can I? No, I won't even attempt that. I'll cut us completely off. Alright, I know what I'll do. We'll just have to split this video into two. So, I shall be back shortly to continue this difficult video blog of, even date. Bye for now from Sacred Space at